Paul Griffin. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Architecture and Interior Architecture in the Faculty of Humanities. My teaching in architecture is in the practice field, which is law, contracts, management, and the actual practice of architecture in the construction stage. Those subjects are taught in a lecture situation generally, and you can teach them successfully in a lecture situation to an extent. What these students don't get, however, is the experience of field work. This teaching and learning field I wanted to look into was to actually develop scenarios, a scenario-based learning experience, so the students could simulate that experience in the field. Well, I tried to keep it simple, so I simply used Microsoft PowerPoint and used a program called iSpring Presenter to turn the PowerPoint into a Flash module, which can then be used on virtually any computer, regardless of its operating systems. It's something like the old make-your-own-adventure books, where you went into a story and you had choices at various stages along the story, where you have a scenario and there might be a particular situation developed in the building industry, and you come to a point, as you do in real life, where you have to make choices. And I generally have, at each branch point, 3 choices to make. Now, at various points along these branches, you can actually sometimes reverse your bad decision if you felt it's a bad decision when you see what your future choices are. So it's a very simple choice and choice and choice system. The students can run this program at home, in their bedrooms, on the bus, whatever they might be. And it builds upon the knowledge they get in a lecture. That builds upon their basic information, facts and laws and information about contracts that I teach them, and information about what happens on a building site if you don't inspect the work properly and there's a failure on a building site. So it's predominantly a study aid. If they believe they understand the subject sufficiently and then run through a scenario and find out they've made all the wrong decisions, because at the end of the scenario they suddenly find that they're in court charged with fraud or something, then that will lead them to actually improve, if you like, or revise their study of the subject and then ask questions at the next lecture and whatever it might be. What worked well was the actual individual scenarios. There was still not enough of them because they become a very complex matrix of options. They take a long time to write and a long time to debug. The writing of the scenarios and the examples is good and easy, but it's checking the paths, and so you can have up to 400 different options on the way through, and it's keeping those in track. And then checking on the way back that you don't make errors takes hours to do. So the problem is not so much in the scenarios themselves, but in the actual production of them. Plus the lack of video content, and I want to put videos of what happens on a construction site and show those as examples rather than just photos of examples. It's very easily used by other people, and it can be used by healthcare. It's not a virtual reality program of any nature, but it can be used by healthcare for the same sort of thing. It can be used by the engineering section. It can be used by lots of people of that nature. Keeping the technology simple, I think, is a very good idea to keep it down to PowerPoint. But other people embarking upon something similar, it takes a lot of time, and that's something that I've found that I've been quite late in producing results because I simply didn't allocate enough time to it.